Okay, so have you ever wished you could just like type out a description and have a whole 3D world just pop up on your screen?
Sounds like something out of a dream, right?
Right. But like, what if I told you that's exactly where things are headed thanks to, get this,
Oh.
NVIDIA?
Yeah, I saw that article too. This new AI they're cooking up is, well, it's pretty wild.
No kidding. We're talking about going way beyond those AI image generators everyone and their grandma is messing with these days.
But
This is like next level. We're talking about typing a few words and getting entire 3D environments, textures, lighting, the whole shebang.
it's honestly kind of hard to wrap your head around, like we're all used to seeing AI dip its toes into the creative pool, but this is like it just cannonballed in.
And it's all built on this thing called reinforcement learning, which, I'll be honest, sounded a bit like jargon to me at first. Did you know much about this before?
Well, I mean, it's been around for a while, just not exactly mainstream knowledge.
Right, right.
But basically, think of it this way. Imagine you're trying to teach a dog a new trick, right? Like program the movements into their brain. They learn through trial and error. A little encouragement here, a little correction there.
Makes sense.
Reinforcement learning is kind of like that, except instead of a dog, it's an AI. And instead of fetching slippers, it's creating entire worlds.
So the AI basically teaches itself how to create realistic movement, textures, all of it.
Exactly. And the article really drove home how this leads to these incredibly natural movements in the 3D models, like even those subtle weight shifts and stuff, the things that make you believe something is actually moving and not just like a computer animation.
Okay, that's the thing that always gets me. You can always tell when something looks a little too, I don't know, computery.
Right, exactly. Stiff, robotic, we've all seen it. But this AI, it's going for naturalism, and from the sounds of it, it's working.
So theoretically, there's no limit to what kind of movements this AI could learn, right? I mean, if you can describe it.
That seems to be the idea. The article talked about how users can literally type in commands, walk,
Hmm.
dance, even something super specific like, I don't know, fight a dragon while riding a roller coaster.
Okay, now you're just showing off.
But the point is, this AI takes those words and translates them into action. It's like mind-blowing.
It really is. And the applications are huge, especially in animation. Forget spending hours getting a character to walk naturally, just type it in. But hold on, we've been talking a lot about characters. What about the worlds these virtual actors will, inhabit?
Right. And that's where the text to 3D thing comes in. This part is just bonkers. So the AI takes your text prompts and starts generating an environment. It starts with something they call visual noise, which I guess is like a bunch of random digital stuff.
Okay, so like a lump of digital clay.
Exactly. And then it refines it bit by bit, adding detail and complexity, and eventually, bam, you've got yourself a fully fledged 3D world. And not just the shapes and structures, we're talking textures, lighting, the whole nine yards.
So to be clear, if I told this AI to make me a medieval castle, but make it entirely out of like shimmering rainbow bricks, it could theoretically do that.
Theoretically, yeah. I mean, there are limitations, right? It's not magic,
Yeah,
at least not yet.
true, true. It's easy to get carried away. And speaking of getting carried away, the article did mention this is all still very much in development, right? What kind of downsides do we need to be aware of?
Right, right. I mean, it's important to remember this is still early days. The article did mention some limitations, and honestly, there are a lot of ethical questions surrounding AI-generated content. We've seen it with the image generators, and this is just taking it to a whole other level.
For sure, and those conversations are going to become even more important as this tech develops. But there's no denying it, this is a glimpse into the future of, well, a lot of things, animation, game development, architecture, who knows what else. And it's kind of terrifying and exciting at the same time.
100%. It really makes you think, where will we be in 5, 10 years? What will this tech be capable of?
It's a lot to take in, but for those who want to dive deeper, what would you recommend? Where's a good place to start?
Well, I think getting a better understanding of the tech behind all this is key. So, yeah, I'd say dive into reinforcement learning. There's a
Yeah.
ton of fascinating research out there.
Perfect. Okay, folks, you heard it here first. NVIDIA is out here changing the game, and we can't wait to see what they come up with next.